All right, so in this video, I'm going to show you how to do home sale comparables for a property. So this person happens to be Brandon and Melissa Mims, and here is their current address. So I'm going to go to MARIS, and I'm going to look for solds and anything that's currently under contract, as well as anything that's active. Residential only in this case. They have 3 bedrooms, but I'm going to say 3 or more. They have 1 or more bath, and their particular property actually has 2 garage spaces, and that's really important because in that area, 2-car garages are kind of a premium. So I'm going to put in there, I'm going to do a map search. And I'm going to go here to jump to address, and I'm going to put in their current address, and right there it is. And you can see as I zoom out, there's lots of different properties here, but I really want to focus it on just their area and probably want to make it specific to the school district. And I know they're in 63123. Which is Afton. Now, if I want to go a step further and actually double check what school they're in to narrow it down even more, I hold my control key down and hit control key detail. You see it opens up another browser here, and I should be able to go hopefully pull up a previous listing. Yeah, here it is. Here it is when they bought it from me in 2013. And it's an Afton, just like I expected. Now I can also narrow it down by the elementary school, which is not a bad place to start. So I'm going to go back to my search screen. I'm going to go to elementary. Automatically pops up. Go back to map. And there it is. And you can see I don't have a lot of other properties out here because I've really localized it by elementary school. So these are some good comparables here, and I'm going to go to results, and here they are. I'm displaying 1 of 24. If I needed to display more, I could do that here, but this is fine. Now, just because I want to get some quick stats, I'm going to hit all, stats, tabular, and if I want to really zero in on solds, average list price of 211. Sell price 210, average square footage 1562, average days on market 15. Now the square footage is kind of key here, so if I go back to their other screen, you can see here they don't have the square footage. So that's okay, I can click on the tax record here, and generally speaking I can get a pretty good idea of their square footage based upon the tax record, which right here is around 1,000 square feet, but I also know they have a finished basement. So I can go back to the search screen, go back, click on criteria, and I can do a couple things here. I can say, let's say 900 to 1,200 square feet, and let's get those matches. Oops, did I lose my map? Looks like I lost my map. No worries. Just type it in again. So I'm not getting anything to pop up on that criteria. So let's move this up to above grade square footage. And there's 4 matches. That's not too bad. Let's look at those. So this one is listed as a multi-level, so it's not a comparable. Here's a ranch, sold for $176. Here's a ranch, currently contingent for $182. And here's a ranch for $162. So I probably could go back to criteria, and this time we're going to say just include 1 stories. And the square footage didn't, I don't want to overdo myself here, so let's get rid of that. And now that I put in 1 story, that brought me to 11 matches here. And this, by the way, this little beacon means this is where their house is. And so this is a pretty good idea. So here's this house that sold for $195,500. Now remember, the subject property has a finished basement. So this one's very nice, hardwood floors. It's got some updated doors, fresher paint. Looks like original kitchen. Whereas the Mims have a fully updated kitchen, including cabinets, countertops, granite, backsplash. This is all stuff I would put in the notes or voicemail. So here's their basement, which is unfinished. So I would say that's probably a good one we can use as a comp. It's quite a bit bigger in square footage, but I'm going to click that right there. Next one. First glance, doesn't look like a hardcore comparable, but at least from the front. But this is nice. 1,300 square feet. But it does have some nice updates. Super, super, super small backyard. I could probably use this as a comparable, which is to say, you know, if my house was, the subject property was on the market, and this house was on the market, which it is, would the same type of buyer go to both properties? Based upon price, maybe so. So I'm going to include that. First glance here, so look at this house, now look at their house. See the similarities? So first glance looks very comparable, but check out the sale price. So something about this made it very comparable, and it says square footage above 2,300 square feet, which usually tells me that there is a room addition. Yeah, there we go. Whether or not, and see, because it's serviced with heating and cooling, it could probably be included in the square footage. Yeah, and the home could be bigger as well, but I don't think that this is a comparable, so we're just gonna, I don't check it, so I'm moving on. 2,000 square feet, on the market for $225,000, so it's not a comparable. Whoops, I'm gonna uncheck it. Definitely not a comparable, just not even the same style of home at all. This one looks like a comparable. You know, again, compare brick, 2-car. Looks, you know, that's vinyl, but it's a 2-car. Let's just flip through here. Yeah, I would say it's a comparable. So we're going to check that one. Marshall Lane, again, it looks very comparable. Be really curious to see if this one has a finished basement. Had an old bath. Fireplace. So here's a finished basement. So yeah, I'm going to say that that's a comparable. 2-car. Very nice, open floor plan, gorgeous kitchen. This one's probably above the price range as a comparable, but I'm definitely going to include this. I'm just going to, yeah, there's the basement pictures. Include that. All right, we saw this one before. Not sure if I'm going to include this one or not. The square footage looks comparable, but yeah. There's the finished basement. So I'll include this. Another brick, 2-car. Quite a bit more square footage, which I'm seeing down here. Big deck, big backyard. That's what really drove the price on that one. All right, basement, yeah. All right, so that one's probably not a comparable. All right, last one here. Some good angle camera there. You see this one sold, has big square footage, but sold for $175.5. Looks like other parts of the house are really dated. So that's interesting. Finished basement. I just don't think it's enough of a comparable. Plus it's right on Weber Road, which is kind of busy. So if I go back to my single line display, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 here. I'm gonna click on stats. So average list price 184, average sell price 182, average square footage is 8. And I can do some other calculations from there, but that is a pretty good representation. And then what I can do is I can just hit email, and in this case I'm going to email it to myself, and I'm going to put comps for Brandon and Melissa. I'm not sure what happened here, and it automatically sees me, but that's okay. Put one here and hit send. And you can also save this as a search, and we can name it, and then I can always come back in and look at it later. And hit save, and that's it.